Well now, we've just talked a little bit about effects, but what about taking the guitar into a whole other dimension? I mean, we are in the 90s, ladies and gentlemen, and what once was the sole domain of the keyboard player is now available to the guitar player, and I'm really talking about the guitar synthesizer. Now, you have a lot of music in your head, and you have the ability to think of and put together things that far supersede the ability of the guitar. For instance, you can certainly play these chords. But you're probably thinking in your mind, wow, you know, if I could just kind of get the LA Philharmonic to play that, that would really sound great. So you go, okay, you plug in the guitar synth, and all of a sudden it becomes... Now, what else can you do with this puppy? Well, say you want to kind of do a little jazzing around, and you said, "Wow, I really wish I could play the vibes." Now, let's have a little fun here. Say you want to be a fiddle player, and you go, oh boy, really loved watching Hee Haw last night, and I wish I could do that. So you dial up a little fiddle. Now this is all made possible by the technology that's allowed the guitar player to interface himself with a synthesizer module. I happen to be using the Roland GR1 at the moment, which is a real nice piece of work. Now all of a sudden your horizons are much, much, much farther than you've ever thought before. You can make whole records by yourself. And for guys that do movie soundtracks, guys that do jingles, and guys that write songs and would like to add a little bit of color and a little bit of dimension to what they do, this is an incredible piece of work, because you can even play drums on it. Anything that you can think of on a keyboard synthesizer, you can now do on a guitar synthesizer. This opens up some interesting possibilities. For instance, if you're a classical guitar player and you would like to be able to play, say, you're a big fan of Beethoven and you want to play Beethoven's Sixth Symphony, the that's, it's nice. It's got the melody, but man, you really would like to have all the 16 guys, 8, 4, and 4, sawing away. So you put up your little box and... dig how great that feels. Now, all of a sudden, you've catapulted yourself into the realm of the orchestra, the fiddle, the saxophone, the piano. I mean, let's see, if I reach over here, pop a little button in here. Let's see what this little puppy sounds like. Now, the one thing you have to remember when you're playing synthesizer is you cannot play the instrument, the guitar, as a guitar. You have to think like the instrument you're trying to recreate. I've seen so many guys get up and pick up the guitar synthesizer and go, they go, ah, this is terrible, man. This thing doesn't work. Well, yeah, of course it doesn't work. You don't bend strings on a piano, and you can't use a vibrato bar on a piano. That's when we covered before about picking techniques. That's where the plucking technique comes in. Because remember, when you hit a keyboard, unless you're playing arpeggios, you usually hit the chords at the same time. And if you record some of this stuff and you play it back to somebody, they'll say, wow, I didn't know you played keyboards. Gee, I didn't know you could write for and arrange for a symphony. Where'd you get those guys? I mean, that was an expensive date. The guitar has come into the 21st century, folks. And not to say that you have to be a guitar synthesist to be a great guitar player, but now's the time to take advantage of the technology. I sure have, and I'll give you an example. I do a lot of TV and movie stuff. In other words, they have 40 people in a room in a studio all doing 130 cues in 8 hours for a TV series or a movie. And there's lots of string players and lots of horn players. And believe me, if I had my choice, I'd use the real guys because I just love the sound of acoustic violins and things like that. But sometimes it's not possible. So now you're at the end of the day. It's 8 o'clock at night and everybody's gone home. And the director or the guy who's producing the date comes over to you and says, we missed cue 75, we missed cue 114, we missed cue 118. Can you do a little Rhodes part for me? Sure, that's okay. Okay, thank you. Then you write on your book, 1 double. You've just not only done session scale and got your money for the evening as a guitar player, but you just doubled it. It says, well, now there's a kind of a frightening part in here we missed in cue 114. We need a, can you give me like a little scary thing? It's the way it's written here is okay. I'm really not interested in what I wrote, but I just need a feel. Can you give me something? Sure. Thank you. Another double. Well, thank you very much. And now can you give me a really low, soft pad? There's a love scene in here in cue 118. Sorry we missed it. Do you have anything in your box? And you go, yeah, I think I can find something for you there. Thank you. Just wrote another double. So you walk out of the record date having played 5 or 6 different instruments, totally alien to the electric guitar, what people would think, and you just made yourself a lot of money, probably paid the rent for the next couple of months. So not only is it a great way to have fun, but you can make a car payment with it.